morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I hope your New Year was decent, because my New Year wasn't. I got the stomach flu when I was flying home from my parents' house. They delayed my flight, so I had to eat dinner at the airport, and I am pretty sure that's where I got it. Could have been food poisoning. I think it was a stomach flu. Either way, my New Year's Day was not fun. Someone's flying a drone over there. It's like scared me for a second. Yeah, when I got home on New Year's, I found out that we had a big windstorm here apparently, because a bunch of stuff that has never blown over or had a problem did. So I have all these broken terracotta pots that I don't know what to do with, because the plants themselves were not heavy enough not to blow over, and everything on the barbecue was like blown over. It didn't tip the barbecue over this time. It has done that before, but I've never had pots blow over before. It's never been that windy. You guys were with me in my last video when I chopped a bunch of wood, and it was so cold here. We got this crazy winter storm. The wind was blowing like crazy. The wind chill made it like 28 degrees. And so I've burned through all that wood. I had to chop wood several other times now. I've made a big dent in my wood pile, especially with all the branches that were pruned off of the willow tree last year. They're almost all gone, which is great because we're actually going to prune the willow tree again for the year in this video. That's going to be a little later in the day because I have a couple other things I want to get to first. The big one is weeding, because the weeds just took off while I was away. So I've been working at it here and there. But if you guys didn't know, I have a full 9-to-5 job, and it is really busy at the beginning of the year. I work in data, and so of course everyone wants end of year annual data, you know, so I've been just click-clacking away on my computer like crazy lately, and so haven't had that much time to get to work on stuff, but I think I'm mostly done with my 9-to-5 and can get back to the homestead stuff a little bit more. If you're somebody looking at all this green in the desert and thinking, wow, that's so beautiful, it's so rare to see the desert being green, I hate to disappoint you, but they're like all invasive species. They're not supposed to be here. The desert's not supposed to be green. There are little itty bitty cinchweeds. Those are native, and they make this carpet of yellow flowers, and they're beautiful. I don't have like a little micro ecosystem of cinchweed. Basically what you're looking at is mustard and rocket or arugula, depending on what version of English you speak, both of which are not native. The arugula, obviously, you could eat. Technically, I think you can eat the mustard leaves too, but I am not that hardcore of a homesteader yet that I am eating my weeds. I am just going to pull them and put them in the compost pile and hope that the compost pile gets hot enough that it kills all the seeds so that I don't spread them whenever I get around to using the stuff from the compost pile in my garden bed. There's literally like a 6-foot swath of it on the sides of the highways. So I'm fighting a losing battle. They're just going to reseed my property from all the stuff by the highway that nobody is taking care of or taking ownership of and like spraying or something. But yeah, I'm just trying to do my part and keep my property clear of them. I think knowing that they're invasive, I think, is like the first step. Most people are like, oh, it's pretty and green, and then when they hear that it's a weed and it's invasive, it like suddenly becomes not quite so pretty. But I have been burning places like underneath my willow tree, just because those places, like, it's a full lawn and I want to try and knock the grass back there some. And the reason it's so bad underneath the willow tree is, one, it's kind of protected by the willow tree, but two is that's where it was raked last year. So if you're somebody who lives in the desert, especially something like the Mojave Desert like mine, where it's a lot of sand and not so much rock, what you really don't want to do is rake, because that's disturbing like the nice crust of the soil and churning new seeds to the surface that were buried in the soil. Best thing that you can do is leave the soil undisturbed so that a nice crust forms, and then native plants know that there's a crust there. They can poke through it, like that's part of their evolution and they can do it, they can survive here. But the non-native plants, they don't know how to do that. They don't know how to get through the crust of the soil, and it just does a lot to keep non-native plants at bay. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I haven't sprayed any herbicide yet. I try not to do it, but I am falling behind, and I think if you're weighing the pros and cons, a very strategically placed herbicide, making sure to leave the native plants alone, I think is worth it in comparison to letting the natives just get choked out by the invasives, especially when you're somebody who has a lot of property to maintain like myself and doesn't have an infinite amount of time to do it. I'm not retired, you know. I do have to kind of balance my time between a lot of different things. Today is going to be a quiet video. The world's very loud right now. Hopefully you guys appreciate a quiet video to kind of just take a step back from everything. I have a couple of like wrap up and more like New Year's themed videos that I want to do, but they'll be coming out in the next videos and everything. This video is just going to be some quiet weed management and pruning the willow tree and just like a big deep breath. Okay, I think I'm done talking for a long time. I'm going to hop back in when we start pruning the willow tree. I'm going to leave the little chapter things in the description or the time bar or whatever that's called, so you can skip ahead if you want to jump just straight to pruning the willow tree, but otherwise, yeah, it's just going to be a little quiet moment here with us working together. My propane torch broke. Let's see if I can even get this on video camera. Wow, I sounded like I was 80 saying video camera. Great. Oh, there you can see it. Yeah, that's cracked right there. That's not supposed to be cracked. You can see it on the other side that it's not. But the kink of the hose is gonna fight me and keep me from being able to show you. Oh, there you can see it. Right there. You can see where it's cracked. On the right side it's cracked, on the left side it's not. So we're done burning for a little bit. The other reason it's nice to burn, I forgot to say earlier, is because it also kills the seeds that are just right there on the surface ready to sprout. So that's also really nice, is that you're not only just killing the weeds that are there, you're also preventatively killing the weeds that are gonna come up next. I'll have to pick up a new hose when I go to town, but all right, well, I guess I'm pulling weeds the rest of the day. So you guys know how in my last video when I was pruning the pepper tree, I was talking about how great it would be if I had a pole saw so I could reach up into the high branches? Well, Seesii, I think that's how you pronounce it, sent me one to try out. So we're going to try it out, pruning the willow tree today. I have to admit I have already used the crap out of this little saw on my firewood. I have all of the old branches from the willow tree that have seasoned for a year, and I've been burning those. And this thing is super handy. It works much better than a hacksaw to get through the branches. I've been using my chop saw a lot on like the 2x4s and stuff that I've been burning, but for the little branches and stuff, this thing is perfect. It's 6 inches long, so I think that will get through pretty much everything that we're going to trim today. There's a lot I want to take off of this tree. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it all today because I don't want to hurt my tree. They sent 2 batteries with it, which is great because you can swap them out while the other one's charging. And they sent 2 chains with it because I'm going to assume that they're like weird sized chains or might be hard to find. They might not be readily available at Home Depot, but I'm not going to need to look for them anytime soon because I have 2 of them. It's going to take me forever to get through 3 chains because they sent me 2 and it came with 1. So yeah, that should last me for a really long time. Yeah, very exciting. I'll let you know how the pole saw works once I've actually used it, but so far the chainsaw part of it works really great and I'm really happy with it. I will get my phone out and kind of walk you around some of the weird things that willow trees do that I am going to kind of prune off here. So it's actually kind of hard even to get in here because I want to clean up all these branches that are hanging down and touching the ground because they are helping catch seeds and whatnot here. So stuff like this, it's literally growing along the ground. That's got to go. And we're going to trace it all the way back up to probably here, maybe even further. And this specific branch is a great example because look at this. What are you doing? It's like grown into another branch that is like resting on it. Like, I don't think I can cut this all the way back to here because it's like attached. So if I decide I need all of this gone, I don't know. I mean, I think I might just leave this guy to keep growing out and then prune back here and back here and let that keep doing its thing. But there is all sorts of places where this tree has had like wind damage and maybe even termite damage. I don't know. Like, look at that. Look at that. And I'm not going to take, I don't know, maybe I do take that whole branch off. I'm not going to do it all at once right now because that's like a huge chunk of the tree. You don't want to kill the tree taking a big branch off of it all at once. But, you know, if the goal is to eventually take this branch off, then I want to start coming backwards on these, you know, one season at a time. And you can see something like this way up there. I could not reach that without a pole saw, so it'll be really exciting to get the pole saw up in here. several more branches I want to prune. But I think I'm going to take a break for the day because it is freezing cold. I really should be wearing a coat, but I didn't want to get caught in anything or whatever. So far, I really like it. I have never used another pole saw, so I don't have a lot to compare it to. But I did get the chain caught once, and it was really easy to tighten. I should have brought the extra battery out here because while it's really fast to swap between handheld and the pole, it would be even faster if I just had the extra battery. So I could leave the one battery in the pole and then just grab the extra and put it in the handheld to swap it. Because then you just literally like click, put the new battery on, done, and swap back and forth. The guard is really useful and it flops out of the way pretty well. The little oil mechanism, you like squeeze it and it puts oil onto the chain. Works well. I didn't get it fully extended. It has like a spring mechanism in it, so it's really easy to put it back, but for me to try and extend it, it's a little bit, there we go. So yeah, it gets really tall. You know, I could get way up in there. You can't even see how high I can get up in there. I don't have the camera backed out far enough. But basically I could get the whole tree all the way up to the very tippy top, and then it just springs itself back closed, which is honestly a feature I feel like they don't have to do. You don't have to put the little spring loading mechanism in there, but they did, and it's really nice. So yeah, overall, I really like it. They sent me a link you guys can use. I'll put it in the description box below if you'd like to. Otherwise, I am going to call it quits for this video. You guys know the whole spiel about subscribing and liking, commenting. I'm working towards a 10,000 subscriber goal by April. So if you want to help me get to that, that would be awesome. And I also realized I haven't done a Q&A video in forever. And so if you guys want to leave me some questions in the comment section, I will get to that in a Q&A video. Okay, I think that's it. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.